Hello, everyone. So, welcome to Sai and Maddie's podcast. So, today we're going to be touching upon something that our co host Maddie here is a pro at, that is, showing up for himself, showing up for what he believes in, and showing up and being an inspiration and a light to all those watching him, following him, sometimes ghosting him, but still following him privately. So he's going to be telling us about all of that and about how you, without trying to copy anybody, but trying to figure it out for yourself within your psyche as to how you could do that within your stipulated time schedule or within your dedicated lifestyle. So, handing it over to Maddie. So, Maddie, how does one show up for themselves? Like, how does one do it? What's the secret sauce?
Accountability. That's it. So
Hmm.
we must be accountable for ourselves. That's it. That's if you say one particular point about a secret sauce or a one particular point, then I strongly put forth the main thing is accountability. Under that accountability, everything comes after. So in that
Hmm.
case, one must be accountable for themselves, not for someone else, for themselves.
Hmm.
So once if you are accountable towards it, then you stand up, you show up, irrespective of any other silly excuses which happens in our life. Of course, everyone living a life here, but at the same time, if you can show up, you become the leader. And when you
Hmm.
are very successful, when you are not want to be, when you desire to be successful, the first and foremost thing is you should develop the leadership quality. And to develop the leadership
Hmm.
quality, you must develop that accountability. Accountability for not for someone else, but for you yourself, for me myself. So when you develop that
Hmm.
kind of accountability, that is where showing up also comes along with it. So at the same
Hmm.
time, it's not going to be overnight process. It is a process. As I said, it's not going to be like a quick switch. Okay, yes, I'm showing up. It happens. It happens to person, depends, but it's a process. It takes a little bit of time and a little bit of sacrifice and a bit of yeah, all those things we can talk about in detail later. But the one thing I could
Hmm.
say is accountability is the main thing. Yeah.
Hmm. Excellently said. That's so true, right? Like accountability for the self, because I guess a lot of people think about when you say accountability, they think accountable for something higher than them, like a higher authority, or where they are at work or some circumstance or a responsibility. But as you say, moreover, it's about being accountable for your own self,
That's
because
right. That's
that's
right.
yeah,
Yeah. So because
because that's the
yeah, yeah, there you go. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, that's the compass that you have, right? Because how many people can you be accountable for? Like, because everyone's going to be, asking you to be accountable. So you just don't know, like, where does the boundary stop, or like, where do you stop taking that seriously? And like, yeah.
That's the thing. Like it's all depends on what sort of mindset that you develop. Go up to there. It means that when you're see it when you're living a kind of life, of course everyone living the life, right? So when you're living a kind of life, what you want to be, because what you're doing is not that important. What you're becoming is more important than what you're doing.
Hmm.
So when you're talking about that, everyone is having, most of the people, around 95% of the people are having a series of issues when it comes to accountability. They are,
Hmm.
I won't blame anyone here, but at the same thing, 95% of the people is not accountable for themselves. Maybe they are accountable in their job, but for are they accountable for themselves is a very big question. It comes from
Yeah.
the mindset which
Hmm.
they develop from their childhood towards their university when they go up to, or if they are going towards a job or something like that. So it all adds up, and by means of that, gradually they may or may not be accountable in their job, but certainly it is a very big question that Are they
Mm.
really accountable for themselves? The answer is absolutely, I can say, could be zero for some extent. The reason being, yeah, that's the thing, because that is where the mindset comes. Because if you will be accountable when you only when you're having that push, only when you keep up that promise for yourself, it all like comes with, as I said, mindset, in the sense when you're working for someone, people say that I'm sacrificing for my job, but are they doing for yourself first? So they may be
Because it's
accountable
actually
in that.
not possible to be sacrificing for somebody else. It's actually like, even if you like really dig into the topic, it's actually not possible. So the
It's a
psychology of
mask.
it.
It's a mask.
Yeah.
They say that,
Yeah.
oh, I'm working hard. Yeah, that's fine. That's right. That's all right. But they mask themselves as they are so much sacrificing for the job. They are doing hard work on the job, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, since they develop that kind of mindset, they just go for a job and come back. Go for a job and come back. What I mean to say is, I'm not blaming the job. Okay, that's fine. But when a person develops year after year, decade after decade, when a person develops that kind of employee sort of mindset, it's something like it
Mm.
develops a kind of like, okay, go do the job, do the hard work, come back, finish. So they may be accountable there, but not for themselves. Think about
Mm.
this way: when a person goes for a job, once after they come back, what they do at home? Are they showing up for themselves at home? Not most of them. They come back with the stress or whatever the stress they're having. They come back, they throw themselves in the lounge and they watch a TV. And then afterwards at night, they may spend some more time lavishly or something like. And then afterwards they don't show up for themselves, what they do personally for themselves. That is what is accountability.
Mm.
And when they get up in the
Mm.
morning, how they show up themselves for the morning, that is what is accountability. In the moment they get
Mm.
up, are they going just chasing and running for the job? That is not accountability for themselves. That may be good for the job, but are they accountable for themselves? Is a big question, right? So that is
Mm.
why
Mm.
the mindset comes here. The mindset plays a major role towards developing that sort of accountability for themselves. Whereas when you come
Mm.
coming to the 5%, 5% is who are entrepreneurs, business people, and investors. When you develop that kind of, when you're shifting from that mindset to this mindset, that's what this process. It's not like an overnight switch. It's not going to happen just like just like that. Whereas when you develop that kind of process, here when you go towards a entrepreneur mindset or a business mindset or a investor mindset, when you go to that side of the quadrant, what happens is you need to have a mindset where you are standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
No one is going to. No one is going to come and help for you, because you must stand up for yourself initial, right from the beginning. Then afterwards, once after you create a system, it develops by itself. But right from the
Yeah.
beginning, you stand up for yourself. That is where you will be pushed beyond your comfort zone to stand up for yourself and to show up all the time.
Mm. Yeah.
So that is why 95% of people are
Mm.
struggling. They say, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to, yeah, I will do someday, I will do one day. But they will talk. Talk is cheap. But are they
Mm.
doing it? So yeah, that's the thing.
It's so true, right? Because when you mention so-called job, you can actually be in a job and have an entrepreneurial mindset, and eventually you'll not be in a job. Eventually you would, you know, uh, find the resources or find the right situation or just have what it takes to start something out of nothing. Because you could, I guess, pretty much even do a job with an entrepreneurial mindset. Is it's actually just the mindset. It's actually not even the situation. I guess a
Yeah,
lot of entrepreneurs could fail if they have the employee mindset, right? Like even the
that's
other way around, like you said.
absolute,
Yeah. Yeah,
absolute.
like you could just easily fail, like even even while doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So the thing is, if a person doesn't shift that mindset, Even it doesn't mean that they have to quit the job and jump on straight away to the entrepreneur or jump on straight to the business. It doesn't mean that way. Whereas if the person doesn't develop that kind of mindset, that's a base, that's a
Mm,
foundation. So if they don't have that mindset, what happens is they will be in the employee state, but they will try. They won't go all in. They try, you know. So when they try, do you think that they will be 100% on here? No,
mm,
because the mindset is a block. The mindset completely blocks them to be accountable for themselves.
yeah. I guess if you
So
can dig a little bit deeper, because yeah, uh, like if we can dig a little bit deeper, maybe it's also helpful for someone who's watching this, and if they may be feeling like, yeah, man, like what they're saying is probably true, and like I feel like that employee now. Like, what do I do? Like, like yeah, they are acknowledging it. They're saying that, yeah, yes, that's true. I feel it that way. Now, like, how does one move past that state once one has seen that, oh yeah, like I
hmm.
do suffer from this issue. All of us suffer from so many different things, right? Like all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, even I
So
do.
yeah,
I did. Yeah,
yeah, like yeah, everybody has their own everybody has their own vices and things going on. So how does one move on? Like how does one make the transition? How does one make the shift to
that's beautiful.
accountability?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. As I said before, it's not like quick fix. There is no quick fix here, and we are all humans. But at the same time, we are all born with extraordinary potential, whereas we have been masked by so much of limited belief, which has significantly affected our potential rather than being it 100% of potential, following the way that we brought up and the limited belief and the schooling and all the other things, and also the community and the society whom we are around with. Based on that, our potential as is not 100% all the time. It
Mm.
only remains between 10 to 40%. That is why most of them are
Hmm.
busy and occupied, but they are not productive. That's a different topic anyway. But why I'm touching that, because they keep themselves busy and occupied in such a way, they will run and run and run, and they will develop that kind of autopilot mindset. Whereas when it comes to accountability, are they standing for themselves is a big thing. Whereas it is not a overnight switch, it is a process which needs to be developed by means of number one important thing, which I'm going to tell you, that self discipline. To develop
Hmm.
that accountability, one must be self disciplined. So it's like a series of things, step by step process. Self
Mhm.
discipline. We all know about discipline, right? Discipline is how we are getting disciplined by the school, by the community. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that in front of others. It may not be good for them. The society may not be like it. That person may not like it. So don't do this. It's not good for us. It's not good for others. Blah blah blah. That is what is discipline. Discipline, what has been imposed onto us, and most of them think that if you do something naughty or something crazy at home or at the school, what immediately they do? They punish you, right?
Hmm.
So what
Yeah,
has
so it's
been,
been ingrained into your instinct actually. Yeah, it goes deep into the instinct.
yeah, so it means that, oh, discipline, okay, what the brain thinks immediately, the conscious brain takes that information as discipline as punishment and goes and sits into the subconscious mind. So in that way, the person tends to see the discipline as not a normal thing, but tends to see the discipline as a punishment, which means pain.
Hmm.
It will be taken as perceived as pain, and eventually, whether they have discipline or not, that's fine. But what happens is, when they get out from the school or from the university, they may look good, they may do good, but are they being good for themselves is a big question again. That is where the self
Hmm.
discipline comes. Self discipline is nothing but parenting yourself. That's it.
Oh, that's excellently said. Yeah, it's so good. That's so good. Yeah,
Because
that
in
is
the
really
presence
good.
of the
Yeah.
parent, in the presence of the master or teacher, instructor or coach or anyone can be disciplined. In the presence of other people, in the presence of from external sources, it could be your parent, it could be your sister or anyone, so that's from the external sources. Whereas the discipline which develops from inside out is
Uh,
nothing but self-discipline. It means that even in the absence of others, how good are you? How good you are standing for yourself? How you are parenting yourself? That is what is self-discipline. That self-discipline is the first and basic stuff, basic process towards building up towards the accountability.
hmm.
So parenting
That's so
yourself.
true. I think that's an excellent term. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really worth a topic by itself. Parenting yourself. That really like hits home. It's a superb way to put it. Mm.
Yeah, there are so
Yeah.
many what's it, so like books and topics or podcasts available around this area, like that. As I said before, again and again I'm saying the same thing, that it is not an overnight switch. It is not going to happen overnight. Say for example, I'm 44 years old. In that case, right from the childhood until to the 43 years or 44 years, whatever I developed, I need to flip it. I may be
Yeah.
good. I may be good, but doesn't mean that am I self-disciplined. It's a bit of a difference between being good and being self-disciplined.
Yeah.
So 40 plus years I've been developed in such a way. I may be disciplined, but not self-disciplined maybe. And if it has to be changed, first and foremost thing is we must not only learn, first and foremost, we must unlearn.
Yeah. Because unless you unlearn, you can't learn new things. You
That's
can't.
it.
Yeah.
It's like a pot.
You have to deprogram to like program again.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. It's like a pot. You can fill in, but if there is already a poisonous liquid there, how much you fill in, it gets diluted, but still it's a poison, right?
Yeah.
So you must completely empty the cup, clean it, and then fill in. And
Mhm.
to empty the cup, first and foremost, they must let go. They must detach from who they were behind to who they are going to become now.
Hmm. Yeah.
So a lot of people struggle
That's
with
so
that.
true.
The
Yeah.
reason because of the first and foremost ego. The ego don't
Yeah.
let them to let go. The ego don't let them to detach from who they are before.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. That is true. But if you want to make yourself a bigger self, something which is higher than an ego, then letting go becomes like an everyday process.
Yes, yes,
Because every
yes,
day you are letting go of something, so that a fresher, newer you is being formed
yes,
each and every second. Yeah.
yes, yes. Because that's what, as I said before, what you are doing is not so important, but what you are becoming is. That because that is what
Mm.
the one which is going to make you, even in the absence of others, you are showing up for yourself, not in the presence of others, not for person who may see, who may watch you, who they follow you. No, no, no. Irrespective of anything whatever happens in the external world, you are showing up for yourself from inside out. So it's all the inside out work, not outside in.
Mm.
Discipline is what is outside in. Self discipline is inside out. So when you develop
Mm.
that kind of process from inside out through by means of self discipline, that is what will make the person to be accountable, and that is what make the person to show up irrespective of any situation.
Mm. So true, so true. Amazing.
That's it. I can
Yeah,
resonate
yeah,
fully with this because it all happened to me. That's what I'm saying. That I was so proud to be who I was before. Because I was so happy, I was so proud. Oh wow, life is beautiful, blah 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 blah. But when I saw the gradually the life happened that way. Whereas when I came to a point in certain time, okay, life is good, beautiful, awesome, but still, why I'm not feeling deep inside happiness? There is not much of happiness. Still, I'm craving for more and more. Okay, how far I can run? How far I can crave for? There is something else. What is that something else? When I dig deep into that, then I felt, okay, this has to be changed. If it has to be changed, I must let go certain things. If I have to let go certain things, I should not be egoistic. That
Yeah.
proudness comes from ego. Being proud in front of others is nothing but ego, again, a part of. Okay, I could say. So people say it's a different definitions, it's all different on person to person. But at the same time, I define myself as an ego. So rather, because ego is considered as a negative term, of course it is, but at the same time, it all depends on how you perceive it, how you tune it. So in that
Because then
way,
it
I
becomes the self, right? It becomes the
pardon?
self. If it becomes the self, it's not poisonous. If
Yeah,
it becomes a
yes.
self, like a, yeah,
Awesome.
a conscious
That's
self, then it's not poisonous. Yeah.
mm.
Mm.
So I
And that's
tune
what
that.
letting go can help you to develop. Letting go can
Awesome.
surely help you to develop that. Yeah.
That's the thing. And especially for when you're developing that kind of entrepreneurial mindset and business mindset, one should have that kind of letting go that what they are attached to, and detaching from
Mm.
what they are attached to. Because what you get attached to also attached to you.
Yeah.
What you own also owns you.
Yeah.
If you don't
That's
detach
true.
yourself, you can't become the best. You will become the who you were before, right? Who
Yeah.
you was
Yeah.
before, right? So I felt that, oh, okay, everything is good, but at the same time, why I'm not happy inside? If I'm not happy inside, something needs to be changed. What needs to be changed? What else is there outside? Then I was digging in deep into not outside, but at the same time inside. Then I felt that, oh, okay, I'm attached to this, which I feel more proud of. Why I'm feeling more proud of? Okay, the ego is a fellow. Put aside, detach. I let go so
Mm.
many things of me. I'm not who I was before. So I changed myself. And then it's a process. It's not overnight again, it's a process. And for that, the first and foremost thing is self-discipline. Started like
Awesome.
that.
Awesome. Yeah. That's so
So
well said. Okay.
yes.
Amazing. And yeah,
And
it's been a yes,
again,
man.
as I said, it's a process. Like self-discipline doesn't mean that it does also means that having a self-discipline routine activity, structured routine activity on a day-to-day basis. Because structure
Mm.
success requires structure. So it's a different topic, but at the same time, I could say that people misunderstand time freedom is doing things at any time. No, it doesn't work out that way. That is what the self-discipline brings a structure here, time to time. Today, as I said, as you said, 4 o'clock, especially by 4 o'clock, by 3:50, I'm here. Sharp. That's it.
Mm.
Whether I do anything apart from the here and there, yes, I'm here. 3:50, I was here. That's it. 10 minutes before I was here on spot. So that comes only by means of having the self-discipline.
Mm.
So first and foremost is developing the structure for you and for yourself. When you develop the structure, eventually you develop that kind of set routine. When you develop the set routine, you time it, you time block or time box it. When you time box it, irrespective of anything, you can control on what you can control. When you focus on what you can't control outside, when you let the external world disturb you, eventually what happens? You can't have the structure. So that's why,
Mm.
as I said before, do not focus on what you can't control. Focus on only what you can control so that you can fine tune monotonously on one thing, one specific thing, on what you can control. You can structure it, you can time box it, the means of having that self discipline, and then you will certainly show up.
Mhm.
It's a
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. It's a lot of food for thought. Yeah.
It's a vast
It's
topic.
certainly
That's awesome. That's the thing.
yeah,
So it's a
awesome.
beautiful topic at the same time. It
Yeah,
can't
it
be
sure is.
it can't be felt by someone, but it can be experienced very well when a person does it.
Hmm.
And when a
That's
person do
true.
day after the day, the confidence develops. Even yesterday we had a talk that like it was today was 435th episode, 435 daily episode, right? So when you look at the number for you yourself,
You feel,
it's
yeah,
not,
you feel extremely, yeah, joyful about that.
yeah, that's a fulfillment. So it itself will pump and boost you from inside out. It's not you
Mm,
feeling proud of yourself, but you feel that fulfillment. Wow, if this I can do, what else I can do?
uh,
Push that limit. That will give you some more accountability to show up for the more.
yeah. Yeah, that's so well said. Uh, I
All
guess
it
just
needs. Yeah,
one
go
thing
ahead.
that I feel like adding is that because when one does start off, or for example, like if someone's listening and yeah, they are processing the information that's going on out here, and they're like, okay, I'd like, because there are times when I've had such conversations, and like I can see that the person in front of me is like genuinely interested or wants to do it, but just doesn't know like what aspect of life do I do it in, because there's just so much, right? Like you could just put everything inside a certain disciplined idea or framework, or you could set your priorities that this is my priority number one. Like this does not change, no matter what what the hell happens in the external world. This goes on. Like the nucleus has to be
Yep,
super tight. It has to. It is unforgiving. Yeah,
yep,
it's it has to be as powerful as my defense mechanism. And then
that's
once
right.
I come out, yeah,
Yep.
then I'm going to be a little bit more allowing. And in the
Mhm.
tertiary things, as you're saying, like things which you can't control, in the tertiary things I can choose to be a little bit more, not thinking about it
Yep,
so much,
yep.
and
That
then you widen
mm,
out from there. Hmm.
that's right.
So
So
mhm.
as you just a second, sorry for that. I got a message. So
Yeah.
in that case, like as you said before, focus on what you can control. Number one.
Hmm.
When you get distracted, when you let the outside world to disturb us, that's it. It's not the outside world is disturbing us. We are giving permission for the outside world to disturb us.
Hmm. Yeah,
Must take the
that's true as well.
we must take the
Hmm.
complete responsibility. That's it. There are a lot of ways to take the complete responsibility. Say we can say, oh, that noise is actually too much audible, too much noisy there. That I couldn't able to make it concentrate. They didn't let the noise down. Say if someone is having a noise, something like that. It's not that they are noisy. You are not quiet.
Yeah,
So we
probably.
take that kind of radical responsibility. How we can change the atmosphere, the surroundings. That too, like
Yeah.
in being in this world now, we can have a headphone and then put a external noise cancellation or something like that. Still, you can be quiet, right? There's so much of sophistication available. We can make use of it, all
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh,
So
that's true. Yeah.
instead of developing that, because it is easy. So the people give excuses to not to why they are not showing up or something like that. People give excuses in such a way that going more towards take it easy way.
Taking it
you know
easy. Yeah.
yeah, so if a
Mm,
person would like to start with, okay, yeah, I'm here, I'm listening to this, I can resonate with this, so where to start this process?
mm.
As I said, it's not overnight, it's a process. Where to start? It's nothing but nowhere to start now.
That's true. That's true.
Start now, because people always tend to procrastinate in such a way because they are so much attached to where they were before. So in that way, they say that, say if it is Monday today, yeah, wow, this looks awesome. This steps looks beautiful. So in that way, next Sunday onwards, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Why do
It's
you do
yeah.
that?
It's not urgent enough. It's probably not urgent enough. Yeah.
It means that is
Mhm.
where, as you said before, priority.
Yeah. Yeah.
They always put themselves last When it comes to pain, when it comes to pleasure, they put themselves first.
Hmm.
As I said before, self discipline is a pain. When it comes to pain, oh, discipline, self discipline, routine. Okay, yeah, I will start the gym. I'm going to start the gym from January. From next year, I'm going to focus on my fitness. What about these 2 months? What about from today? What else you can do today?
Hmm.
So that is what
That's so
is
true.
procrastination, because
That's
they
true.
see themselves, they see that routine as pain, and they will distance from the pain. They will put the last. Oh, okay, I will do that, because they focus on pleasure. It doesn't mean I'm not blaming them, but the thing is, if it comes to pain, they put themselves last. When it comes to pleasure, they put themselves first. They say that,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm going to do the exercise. Okay, I'm going to start from Sunday. What they're doing on Friday night?
That's very true. That's very, very, very true.
It's all the conscious mind,
Hmm.
because the conscious mind say that what the conscious mind will not let people to take that kind of level of pain. The conscious mind says
Hmm.
that, what happened to you in these many years? You were not like that. Why you are suddenly changing? No, 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 don't do this, don't do that. You don't lift the weight. If you lift the weight, it will become more painful. Don't do that.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
conscious
yeah.
weather is
Hmm.
not good. It's raining, it's windy, it's blah 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 blah. It sounds, it gets, too much of noise will be there from the conscious mind. But you must let go that I am unstoppable. That is not my identity. You must come out of it. That was me. Now it's not
Hmm.
me. I am changed. You must tune the mindset.
That is true. And
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah. It's beautiful,
And
man.
also
It's
the thing is when you are in this process, like what I feel is that you could and you should only do it to the things which you're completely passionate about, which you're completely devoted to, which really matter to you, things that you cannot imagine yourself without. Because if you are to say, for example, invest in something which is you're lukewarm about, you're not sure, but you're like, yeah, it's okay, it's nice, but I could do without it. I don't think it's easy to show up for something that you're not completely, like every cell of your body is not fighting for it or wanting it. So there comes down the process of even like self discovery or like self questioning as to what are my priorities in life. What is the one thing that I cannot live without? What is the one thing that is so dear to me that I would fight till the very end to even just have it.
yes,
Now,
yes,
when I can narrow down that priority, now that is the priority worth disciplining. That is the priority worth living for, because that is the priority which will really amp up, because every cell of your body wants it. It
that's
knows what will happen when that is not there in its life anymore. So
right.
that is the kind of push that is when I think this pain mechanism that you speak about, you can actually use it for advantage.
Yes, that's
Like
it.
I could easily like just threaten myself, like because I know how much it matters to me, like I know how music matters to me. I could easily just threaten myself, like if I'm, for example, not getting up in the morning, I'm just saying, like, this pleasure is taking over, and say for example I didn't get up. It doesn't take more than a few seconds to just imagine the worst. What if music is not there in my life? What if I drift away? There's just I cannot explain, like every cell of the body wants to fight against that feeling, all that fear. But if that thing is not that important for you, the body won't fight it. Body will say,
That's it.
it's okay, man, we'll find something else. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something new will
yeah.
come.
You get carried away. So that's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you also have
Yeah,
to find the thing which you really is very important for you, like it's
yeah. One
yeah.
must be passionately obsessed towards it.
Hmm.
That's the other thing I could say. So as you said before, I just came into my mind all of a sudden that uh, people first and the foremost is, when it comes to the process of this all these things, besides the passion, there are two things which impacts the person's self-discipline or accountability or other things like that. Number one is, people should develop saying no if it doesn't align to with them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because we have been brought up in such a way to say yes to everything. When you say yes to
Mm.
everything, it distracts the person. When you get distracted, you can't focus. You can't pay attention on what exactly you are after. So, saying no if it doesn't align to you, number one, they should develop that ability of saying no. At the same time, receiving no too. Not only saying no, receiving no. When you
What do you
say
mean by
yes,
receiving no? What do you mean by receiving no?
what I mean to say is, okay, it is a kind of, like a give and take. Okay, say if you are just go back to the childhood. Go back to the childhood. Say very make it very simple. Okay, you are in a school. You are actually around 4 years or 5 years old. Okay, and you are having around 5 or 6 chocolates with you. Okay, just make it simple. Okay, and that in that way, your friend of you is coming. Okay, and she or she is asking, your friend is asking, okay, can I have some chocolates? And you say that I have only 4 chocolates, I am not here to give it to you. If you say, you're not going to give it, right? And on the other day, that person will be having chocolate, and when you go and ask, do you think they will give it? No. All right, so you must be in a
Mm.
position to receive that no.
Mm.
That's a childhood mentality which will develop in that way as well. So what happens is, the mind develops. When I say no, maybe later on when I ask for something, they will also say no. Oh no, I'm not here going to say no. I'll say yes for everything. So from there, what the child think, what you think, what if you're a child, if say for example, a person, what the person here think, oh, if I don't give the chocolate now, tomorrow if he is having the chocolate, you won't give it to me. Okay, I will give it.
Mm.
For that, one should have the mindset, if I say no, I have only chocolate, this is for me. It doesn't mean that I have to give it to him, because I have 3 sisters back at home. One is for me, one is three is for my sisters. So that's what I have, 4 chocolates. You know that you don't need to explain to everything to other person, but you know that why
Mm.
you are having it. All right, so when you're not giving, you know that, okay, tomorrow when I'm going to ask him, he is going to say no. I'm ready to face it. Did you get it now?
Yeah. I do suffer from this thing that you're saying. Like the first part is easy, the second part is not easy for me. Saying no
That's
is
a
easy, receiving no is not easy for me. I suffer
uh,
from this.
we must develop that. If one develops it, eventually you start to say no. Saying no is easy, but since receiving is not easy, people don't say no, because those are interconnected to each other.
Yeah.
So there's a one fine book, it's called as the one thing. It's a beautiful book. It has clearly defined how you say no to a person who is close to you. They are given different strategies of how to say no if it doesn't align with you. You say, if your close friend, or if your mom, or if your girlfriend, or if your partner, if you're anyone, if there's something they're asking, you can't avoid it, but at the same time you are aligned to something here. And if they ask it, how you can say no to a person who is close to you, there are different strategies available in that book. Actually, they can easily
Mm.
refer to that book. Okay, so people should say no, should develop the ability of saying no. At the same time, they should also develop the ability of receiving no. Saying no is easy, but at the same time, back in mind, it will process that, oh, if I say no, it means that okay, tomorrow. So they don't say no. Correct.
Yeah.
So
It actually brings me down to accountability. Like I'm as I'm thinking, yeah, as you're saying, I'm imagining it as well, and I can see that saying no, what it does is that it's putting us myself in a boundary, saying that okay,
exactly.
this is yeah, these are the values I have created, these are the things that I stand up for, and when I say no to anything external from this, I am very much subject to receiving no for anything outside of this. That means this I really need to build well. That means that
Yes.
this I really need to stand up for, and this I really need to be accountable for, because nobody
Yes.
from the outside is going to help me anymore because I have said no, right, and I've
Yes.
started off my own thing now. Yeah.
See, we are all
So
herd animals. We are all herd animals, okay? In the sense that like we would like to be in a group. You might be knowing that like in those days, if a family or if a person does something wrong, what the king does, he will put that person outside of the
Out of
town.
the group.
Don't help,
Mm.
no help, blah 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 blah, completely separated. All right, so that mentality is in our back of our mind. If we get separated, if you're not in the group, what happens to us?
Yeah.
What happens to us? That sort of scared mindset develops. That is why people are not saying no, which are not aligned to them. They will say yes, 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 yes. If someone calls, yes, I'm coming. If someone this one, yes, 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 I'm coming. When you say too many yes, you are distracted. And where do you get the time for you yourself to focus on that one thing which is main priority for you? There are so many priorities, but there is no one priority. So no accountability, right? At the same time, there's a second thing which came into my mind. As I said, first thing is saying no and receiving no. One should develop the attitude. The second thing is when you focus too much on yourself, not too much, nothing is too much here, okay? The world is full of abundance, nothing is too much. When you focus on you for yourself and you say that I'm not here for that, no, I have to do this, no, I'm not going to come for this because I must do this, I'm going, yeah, at any cost I must do this one, blah blah blah. When you focus on for you yourself, what the society says, what the people around you says, oh, you're so selfish, right? That's what people say. You are being selfish all the time, you always think about only you, but not people around you. That's what they say. Got it? So we do not want to be called to be selfish. That's what we do is we say yes to everything and we don't focus on what is more priority to us. So we should again develop that attitude of saying no, but at the same time also we should take off the unroot that limited belief that when you focus on you yourself, it is not selfish. That's a limited belief. You're always thinking about yourself. You're being so selfish. That's a limited belief, deeply rooted into us right from the childhood. By our parents, by our siblings, by the relatives, by the friends, by the school, wherever you are. So that has to be completely unrooted. Then you can focus on one main thing. When you focus on one main thing, eventually you get all the time for yourself. You can structure it, you can time box it. That is where the accountability is, that is where the showing up is. So yeah, that's the thing. Awesome. Did you get it now? So of course most of the audience who are listening to, they can able to but at the same time, as I said again and again, it is not an overnight switch. It is a process. It's like a tiny step. They must build it one after the other. It's not like overnight, okay, I'm going to change it from tomorrow onwards, all right, I'm going to start from my running routine. It doesn't happen that way. If you resist too much on your conscious mind, the conscious mind say no way. So gradually, step by step, but it needs lots and lots of persistence, relentlessness, resilience, to push through the pain. So once if you push through, on the other side, beautiful, the beautiful life is that I'm living now. I'm the prime example. Still I'm learning, still I'm getting through, still I'm pushing through. But once if you cross that limit, you will become unstoppable. Whether you have 1,000 kids, whether you have people have say I have these many kids, that's why I'm not doing. What? I'm not here to preach anything to them. I say, okay, that's it. I'll just walk away because I don't want to surround myself with along with those kind of people. If they say so many excuses, I can guide them only if they let me. If they say blah 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 blah, okay, change my direction. I'm not here to change anyone. I'm here to change someone who is ready for it. So similarly, accountability is similar like that. You must be really conscious and aware about where you are heading to, which direction you're heading to, what is your priority. And when you prioritize that, when you know your direction, that is it, you will become unstoppable. That's it. Easy. It's not easy, it's simple. Awesome, right? So that's how one must show up, and that's how one must build the tenacity by all means. Yeah, it's a beautiful life. It all happened for me in this 1.5 years. Before I wasn't like this person. So it takes time. It takes time. It's a process. Yeah.